technology-based version of observing animals. So you can download the app and you can collect data on your cat resting, 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 using your iPad when you're resting, and you can generate reports. You can send it for friends. Look, my cat's resting. Email it to a friend. This app is available now in 5 languages. It's based on what we learned by working with the Nigerian youth. It's in French, English, Spanish, Polish, and Danish, because we have a Denmark partner. It has already been downloaded over 1,500 times, and now it's 33 countries. I didn't have time to change the slide. And you wouldn't believe the range of countries that has downloaded the app. I was surprised. We've got Yemen, we've got Oman, Saudi Arabia, China, Japan, and that's just in addition to Australia, UK, Mexico, the countries that you would expect. So the reach is incredible, and this was all based on our experience with the Nigerian youth and realizing that observing animals to better understand wildlife was a universal concept, and it could really be translated into globally relevant technology. So it's a huge honor. The picture on the left is hanging in Mr. Ali's office at the National Museum of Niger. That's with our CEO and a member of AAM and a member of the State Department. And then on the right, that was a visit to the U.S. Embassy and the ambassador's residence when we were in Niger. And just being able to say we are part of this project has been incredibly beneficial, and it's something we're all so proud of. So we'd like to thank everyone involved for the opportunity.
Thank you, Leah. I just wanted to tell everyone that we're going to hear from Sally, and then we're going to show you a short film about another project across the coast, and then we'll open it for questions if anybody would like to ask further questions about the projects and these interests.
Thank you, Lisa. The Girl Ambassadors for Human Rights Project has opened my eyes, helped me discover my passion, and pushed me to find my voice. Learning about gender inequality on a global scale impacted me tremendously. I knew I wanted to do everything I could to fight injustices in our society. This is the voice of one of the girl ambassadors from our museum, the Matilda Jocelyn Gage Center in Fayetteville, New York. Leah took part last year in a Museums Connect project, Girl Ambassadors for Human Rights. The International Coalition of Sites of Conscience put us in touch with museums of memory in Chile and Sri Lanka in a daring experiment to see if teenage girls could connect and find common bond learning about gender inequality in each of their countries. Our U.S. museum celebrates the life of a forgotten women's rights advocate, while the Chilean museum holds the memory of the imprisoned and tortured under the Pinochet regime. And the Sri Lanka site educates and empowers tea plantation workers. 20 girls aged 15 to 17 were chosen at each site. In the U.S., the girls chosen came from a variety of backgrounds. One girl described herself as 5th generation from slavery. Another lost most of her relatives in the Holocaust, while a third, in her application, chose one of Muhammad's wives as the woman she most respected. The Chilean girls came from more similar backgrounds, while the Sri Lankan girls all lived in the Tamil community of tea plantation workers. There were aha moments when the girls discovered that as different as their cultures were, they all shared some issues in common. Women in both Chile and the U.S. make about 75% of what men make, they found, with women about half the labor force in both countries. In Sri Lanka, on the other hand, the women are largely the sustaining breadwinners. While women work for job fairness in the U.S. and Chile, the tea plantation workers in Sri Lanka struggle to keep their families fed. The girls discovered that the path to equality is not a simple matter of one country leading others. Change happens instead unevenly in fits and starts. For example, Sri Lanka and Chile both have had women heads of government, while the U.S. has not. They found their shared concerns. Girls in the U.S. and Chile feel oppressed by the body image and fashion demands on them to be sexually attractive, while one of the Sri Lankan girls intervened to try to stop the forced marriage of her 15-year-old friend. Widely different experiences, but on the same spectrum of absence of control over their bodies and lives. Our national foreign policy goals include promoting gender equality and advancing the status of all women and girls around the world, which remains one of the greatest unmet challenges of our time, and one that is vital in achieving our overall foreign policy objectives. The Girl Ambassador for Human Rights Project met that objective in real, personal ways. As their international awareness grew, our U.S. girls saw how improving the working conditions of the tea plantation workers improves the United States, as everyone is stronger when workers worldwide have the ability to advocate for themselves, as the Sri Lankan girls found voices to do. From the large community events at each site during the international travel to the tremendous publicity we received in our communities, Museums connected us locally as well as internationally. Our girl ambassadors became spokespeople, doing public presentations and their class projects on the things they had learned. The girls invited their mothers to a session, asking them to talk about discrimination they had experienced growing up. When the moms finished, they each shared their wishes for their daughters' futures. When the daughters, in turn, shared their wishes for their moms, there wasn't a dry eye in the Gage Center. If diplomacy can be measured in tears, the Girl Ambassador program succeeded. As the girls shared their day-to-day lives with each other through their own Facebook community and their human rights issues in each country through Skype, they formed friendships. These ties strengthened as two girls and museum reps traveled to the other sites. By the time the Chilean Sri Lankan girl ambassadors came to the U.S. for the final visit, the tears of goodbye cemented the friendships they had developed. The vision of the International Coalition of Sites of Conscience is to expand the project, building with our 3 museums as the nucleus to other museums around the world, creating a virtual network of girl ambassadors learning about and working for human rights. In the meantime, we're continuing the project locally at the Gage Center. We just finished the applications. We have twice the number we had last year. And we've been approached by a museum in Tunisia where they have a youth project that is working with their young people as they're developing their democracy. And they would like our girls to help them understand gender issues in that process. Well, it was actually the mothers of the girl ambassadors who demanded that the project continue. As they watched the transformation of the lives of their daughters, they said more girls need this experience. Leah, the U.S. girl with whose words I began, ended her statement, "I owe so much to this project. I joined several social justice projects, was coaxed out of my generally shy shell, won a Central New York Peace Youth Action Award, and a Social Justice Award was given to me by my school, accompanied by an over $30,000 scholarship to the University of Rochester." From Leah's Facebook friends in Chile who are now talking with her about coming to the U.S. for college, to the Sri Lankan girls who say they are finding courage to fight for their rights in their country because their U.S. and Chilean friends are supporting them. These girl ambassadors for human rights are now in motion, working to promote gender equity and advance the status of all women and girls around the world. Thank you, Museums Connect.